known as the Real Brick House Body on Instagram.
And I'm Donna from Peekaboo Treasure Box.
And my name is Dina Felice from Peekaboo Treasure Box and Dina's Closet.
And on today's show, we are going to be talking about credit.
Yes.
Credit.
Very important.
Very informative.
What y'all got for them, ladies?
Well, I want to talk about, charge-offs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, personally, when you're young, right out of high school, they start sending you all these credit cards, bombarding the new college students because they got that good credit clean. Nothing's
Right.
on there. And sometimes if you're not educated, when you're younger, you start getting those credit cards.
Right.
You start, I got some money.
Free money. Not at all.
And you're not thinking about, I'm going to have to pay this back.
Right.
This is more of a loan. So later on, after you get out of school, and you start realizing, well, I have credit card debt, and then it's like if you don't pay them, you start getting the phone calls from the credit cards. They start calling you, right? So in between that time, let's say 10 years, and they start calling you. Now you're in your early 30s, and they're calling you about a credit card that you had when you was 21 years old.
Right.
Hang up the phone. Don't have any more conversation.
I didn't even know you were going to say that.
Well, before,
I was over here going,
it takes 7 years for that to fall off your credit because, they have insurance, so they already paid.
Dina, let me ask you. I don't mean to cut you off. You said 7 years.
Yeah.
I've heard that it can go longer because they sell your account to a
Right.
new.
They do.
Absolutely.
okay.
They do.
So you think it will be off in 7 years,
Right.
and then it will be sold to another company, and it will start all over again.
But
With
but-
that,
crazy?
But
so
with that,
you'll never
with,
be,
with
you
that
know.
being said, when it is sold to another company, because it will be sold to another company if
Right.
they can't contact you.
Yeah.
You never admit that is yours, ever.
Can I speak to? You got the wrong number.
Because this is the gag now that they do, right? Because they'll call you and be like, "Is this Dina Felice?" Sometimes I'll, who wants to know? Who wants to know? It's the last four of your social 1, 2, 3, 4. Who wants to know? And then this is the new one. We have an important business matter
Girl.
to discuss. I don't have no
Girl.
business with you. What are you talking about? Hang up. Hang up.
Quickly.
Quickly. I have a news story about this. It's really quick.
Okay.
This happened to me last week.
Mhm.
8 a.m. in the morning, I keep getting this call from, because what they do now, they don't call from 866 numbers. They try to catch you with a local number.
Exactly. That's a phone system. They could put in any area
Yeah.
code. 412-814-773.
We on to 'em, though.
We on
to 'em.
They
Right.
could put in any code to trick you. And sometimes they'll be like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, like,
how you
people talking.
doing?
Hi, Deanna.
Yes.
Hey, girl.
And look, so that's in hopes you have a better chance of answering from a area code that you know, right? So I'll get this call in the morning, and it was the same reason. Hi, is this Dina? Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, it's the last four of your wait, hold up. I have an important business matter to talk to you. And I'm like, what do you want? Well, can you verify? No. No. So, as he's talking, I usually hang up on them as they are talking, which is
In mid-sentence.
in
huh?
mid-sentence. They don't even get a chance. And I hang up, and they'll continue calling you. So, the next day, he did it again at the same time. So, I answered the phone. I know it's him. And I said, as soon as I answered, I didn't even say hello. I said, oh, God, it's you again.
Oh, no.
And he goes, is this Dina Felice?
Not with
Who wants
authority.
to know? I said, well, you know what? I'm just and as he's talking, going through his little thing that he does, I'm like, I'm hanging up. I don't want to listen to nothing you have to say. He said, you know what? You just call me when you ready to find out the information that we have for you. Goodbye.
Which will be never, sir.
So he got mad at me because he wanted to hang up on me before I got him. But let me tell you, he will never get that phone call because this is stuff that's, like I said, was in my early 20s. This is over 10 years old. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to talk to you about something I haven't used in over 10 years. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. That's really ridiculous. So that's my gag of that. Just hang up. Just don't say another thing about it. And there's one more thing I wanted to add to that. Have you guys heard of CPN numbers?
Come again?
CPN numbers?
CPN?
Yes.
No.
It's credit profile number.
Okay.
So, the first time I heard of a credit profile number was from an entrepreneur friend of mine who passed. And how he got a lot of his business started was from his CPN number, not from his personal social security number. He learned about this from some of his colleagues that are Caucasian.
Okay.
Not that matters. Because most people think it's illegal. Because if you get a bad CPN number from someone, it can be because it can be a deceased person.
So how do you generate the CPN number?
You will have to find that person because it's not a thing that people know about. Like with my friend, I would trust him and finding me, giving me the person that linked him to his CPN number. Because I know it's legal. It's not a person that's, in prison. It's not a bad number.
And this is a number you can use instead of your social?
Right. Mm-hmm. So you would establish your credit.
You would establish your credit with that number. Now, most people that get CPN numbers, they get trade lines on that number. Mm. Or, you could piggyback off of, you'll pay someone and you could piggyback off of their good credit, so it make it look like you have a long credit history.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. No,
you can piggyback off of their credit history because established credit looks good. Yeah. And then you don't have to wait, because how people will know something's not quite right with your number if you start applying for stuff really fast. Instantly. Mm-hmm. And then that's the red flags will go up. Mm-hmm. So it will have to be, if you want to do it authentically, it will have to be gradual.
Right.
Learn something new every day.
Yes, I didn't know
something new. Good for people that's starting businesses, because it never says that you have to use your social security number.
Right.
It's just something underground people don't know a lot about because they think it's illegal. So. Look into that, you guys.
We learn something new every day.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about authorized users. Mm-hmm. Some people think having no credit is good credit. Actually, that's bad credit. Having no credit is bad credit. You need some type of credit. Mm-hmm. So
is no credit better than bad credit? I know what you just said, but if you had a choice, is no credit better than bad credit, or are they both equally?
It's both equally the same, basically. No credit is like, nothing. When a person is looking at, finance companies are looking at your credit, you have nothing, and they don't want to give you that loan. Okay. So those of you guys that are going through something similar, what you would need to do is find someone that's close to you that can add you on their credit history. It only will take like one credit card. Mm-hmm. And basically they will put you on their credit. The main thing, you have to make sure that the credit card company reports. Right. Because if they don't report,
there's no need in me having your card. Okay.
So when that person is adding you, they ask, if they're not asking, what's the person's social security number, that will let you know right off that they don't report, so you won't even use that. Right. But the credit history at least needs to be like up to 5 years. Mm-hmm. And the credit limit needs to be a high limit with bills paid on time. So if you get that person to add you, your credit score could go up to 100 and something points within 30 to 45 days. And then the good thing about that is you won't have to keep that person on your account.
The primary.
The primary. As soon as they establish some credit, you can just take them off at any time. So I would never suggest co-signing for anyone, because when you co-sign for someone, your bill is their bill. You know, and if they don't pay, it's your responsibility because it's your credit.
Is that some of like similar to the credit card? What you just explained?
Yes.
The credit card, like, so if my son needs to build some credit, and I what do you say? Authorized user.
Yes.
Right.
Is that the same thing as a cosigner? Because
No,
to me
it's not.
is.
No, it's not, because you won't. It's not going to hurt you at all. It's going to help your son, because once you put your son on your line of credit, he's gonna basically adopt immediately your credit history from the beginning when you receive that credit card.
That's a great idea.
As long as you pay on time.
But I suggest that if you do it, the authorized user, that is, not the authorized user, but the primary person that's assisting their credit to someone else.
Right.
I suggest that you monitor that card closely if you don't have it the majority of the time, and kind of give it to them to go shopping once a month, just to use the card for residual credit or what have you. But I don't know if I would trust like giving someone a card and saying, hey, I'm going to help you out. I trust that you're going to do the right thing. Because if that was the case, you would need my credit. You have
but you know what? You don't have
that
to do
will
that.
mess me up, though.
But if you put your son on your credit, you don't have to give him a card. He's gonna adopt your history immediately. So you won't have to. You know, whatever you use,
But the card has to be used.
Yes, the card. Yeah, you have to have,
You have to use the card.
Good people would be somebody with great history. You have great history. You have great history. You have a good limit, and you pay your bills on time. Adding him would bring it up 100 points. Yes, and then after that, he would be able to do it on his own.
That's a great idea.
Just the beauty of it. And then that's fast. Now some financial companies are, they're real sophisticated or whatnot, but that's a good way to get your scores up within 30 to 45 days.
Can I say something without cutting you off? Did you guys, or you ladies, and you guys, you all there, did you know that people can actually do that as a business? You have good credit, and you can lend your credit to people for 6 months, and it's called being a credit repair person. But do you know that the credit card companies do not allow that? It can only be a family member, from my knowledge, like a child, a husband, a mother, that you're going to have as that authorized user, if that makes sense. So it can't just be like anybody. Oh, I want this to be an authorized user, that helping these people, because you can charge them for that, and that's the business.
Right.
Okay.
You ain't heard it from me. But not to cut you off, Donna. Go ahead. What else you got, girl?
No, and wanted to also talk about, like I touched on it, co-signing. To me, it's foolish. That's just my opinion. That's just because that turns into your debt. So if you're paying one car note, if Dina doesn't pay her car note, you have to pay it to protect your credit. So you don't want to really get into that unless it's your spouse or somebody your spouse, basically. I wouldn't do it. Friends, family, no.
I did that once.
You did?
Girl, yes, for one of my sons. Bless his heart. And I would never do it again. Yeah.
What happened?
I helped him get a car, and he fell back on the payments, and thus that became my debt. So, yeah, true story. Yeah, so you want to be careful. You want to be careful.
Yes. So that's all I wanted to add. That's it.
Okay. So, I just wanted to share with you guys a few things that I did to help repair and restore my credit, because I had to do it twice. I just mentioned credit got kind of messed up with my son, then a marriage. So a few things I did to rebuild my credit to where it is now, where I'm not going to share my credit score yet, but maybe if we do this later, I might, just so you guys can see that we do kind of know what we're talking about just a little bit. But what I did, I went to a jewelry store, right? And I opened an account. I'm not going to name the jewelry store because I don't want to promote the jewelry store. But if you have a jewelry store in your neighboring city, in your town, that helps people reestablish credit, go for it. Buy something small, pay it off, don't miss not one payment. You can then, the jewelry store I went to, you can take that item back and trade it in and get something more expensive and carry on the credit. And that really helped. And from that, I started getting credit card offers.
Okay.
So hopefully that happens to you if you do try this. You get credit card offers, you accept one, maybe two. Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy. One, maybe two. You take that card. So after about 6 months of paying off that jewelry, or paying into that jewelry, and or paying it off or trading it in, you'll start getting credit card offers, right? So you accept it, whether that be secured or unsecured. So unsecured will be where if there's a $500 limit, you're going to have to up that $500, put it in your account, and that's where you would draw the credit from. Okay, but secured or unsecured will work. Now, after that, major payments on time. Don't accrue any interest. Good. Googly moogly.
Yeah.
Yes, most
If
definitely.
y'all be accruing interest, I don't even know. I don't know what to say, because
you
to
will
me
never
that's a
finish.
foreign language. What the?
Yeah, you would never.
You know
be
what?
paying.
And-
You pay off interest, not the card.
Right. You know what? And then the only time, because sometimes we have hard times.
Yeah, that's true.
When you have a hard time, in a month, and that's the only time that I would pay a minimum payment.
Right.
Try not to do that. People
Pay the
try
full
not to
balance.
do that, because that will hurt you. It's just like a free payment. It's just saving your credit. But try not, never. I used to always tell my daughter, never pay minimum payments.
But you know what? As a new credit card holder,
Mm-hmm.
you think that's good, because I did that as a
Yes.
fresh new.
But you're
Not
paying
this
for
time.
it 20,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this time when I was rebuilding credit. I'm talking
Right.
about when I was fresh, had no
Right.
credit before I messed it up, right? And had to
all
rebuild
We
it.
all have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would think, oh, minimum, that's cool. All right. And then, girl, I did not know a thing about credit at
You
the
done
time.
paid for your hair, your purse 10 times.
Right.
That
And
bag
by
that was
you not
$200,
knowing-
you paid 1,000.
But listen, but by you
Right.
not knowing
Ignorant.
that
Right.
at the time, because it happened to me too. You wondering when you get your statement, you're like, wait a minute.
You just gave y'all.
How come it don't look? You're confused because you don't know.
You're ignorant to the fact. It's okay not to know.
Because you
You
don't
don't know. I damn for sure didn't know. So
Yeah.
minimum is a no-no.
Never.
Okay?
Never.
Always what I like to do is spend or charge what I know I have in my pocket or my
so
bank.
when that bill come, you could pay that plus.
I already set the
Yeah.
money to
Yeah.
the side, because it's like this. I'm out eating, or I'm at the grocery store or at the mall. I want to buy something. Instead of me pulling my cash from my wallet, I'm going to slide my card, right, to generate that credit. But I'm going to make sure that I don't take that money. Oh, now I have money to go spend up here. No, you put the money to the side because you just spent that. And you don't have to worry about making it up later, because I've done that too. Oh, cool, I got about 3 weeks, I'll make that up. It doesn't always work that way. So it's a good practice to just take the money that you already have
Right.
and charge it. Don't charge what you don't have, in other words. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, otherwise
If you can't afford it, don't charge it. I mean, cards is a convenience. I like my cards because I don't like carrying cash.
Yes.
But as soon as I charge it, I pay it. So I don't like carrying cash. I
Especially-
get paranoid if I have a couple of,
Like
That's just me.
$100.
Yeah, that's just me. That's just me.
Especially when you have when you have been blessed with high limit
Right.
cards. It's like burning
That
in your
American
pocket.
Express
Yeah.
no limit one.
Well, it's
make
being
sure.
young, it burns in your pocket.
Right.
And you just charging away.
And you just feel like you can buy up the world. I mean, and realistically, you cannot.
Just don't miss those payments. Don't miss those payments. Another thing I wanted to touch on, excuse me, Dina.
No,
I'm Deanna.
Yes, ma'am.
I know it.
Triple D's, we get confused sometimes.
Yes.
It's okay.
Your mortgages, a lot of people think, you won't lose a lot of, your points if you late on your mortgage. Now, let me tell you, it's only going to take a second. Make sure, those of you that are new homeowners, do not, mortgages due on the 1st of the month. Late is the 15th of the month. And then you would just get a late fee. If you're having part-times, make sure that mortgage is paid by the 30th of the month. If not, it flips over to the next month. That is 100 points off of your credit. 100 points. For real. So make sure that last day you have that mortgage in. If you get the late fee or whatever, you don't even have to pay the late fee. They're gonna want that whatever your original payment is. They will take the late fee and put it on the loan, so you don't have to worry about that. Just make sure you have it in by the 30th of the month, because no one wants to. 100 points is a lot. Now, credit cards is not, it's still bad. You want to pay your credit cards on time, though. I'm not telling you pass for credit cards. Credit cards is not as much. It's a few points, but not as much as a mortgage. Mortgage will take you all the way down.
Take you out.
Just know that. I just wanted to add that. I was thinking about it. Let me tell everybody that those that really don't know, new homeowners. Yes.
And some of these things, a lot of you may already know that we're sharing, but if you don't, then we hope that we can help someone, enlighten someone, in other words.
Right. And if you're in the process of rebuilding your credit, because like we said, we all have made mistakes, when we're younger, and you can always start over. You can always start over. 2 times. And not only that, people don't realize, you can pay a credit repair service, but you can do it yourself. You can
people don't know that.
Yes, you pull up your credit reports by the 3 credit bureaus, and you can
make an agreement with those custom businesses or establishments on your own, right? You don't have to hire a credit repair person.
All it takes is a simple letter. Just make sure your letter is,
and not only
getting right to the point.
Right, and not only that, when you send letters, when you pull up all 3 credit reports, and when you send letters, make sure, because they have to respond within 30 days. If they don't respond within 30 days, that is removed from your credit. That's by default. It's by default because they didn't respond within the time limit. But make sure when you send out your letters or you're disputing those negative marks on your credit, do it all at the same time.
Right. So you send each credit
at the same time, so it could be 30 days.
Right.
So because if you send it at different times, it can get
kind of hard to keep up.
Yeah, it'd be hard to keep up. So you can do that also. Good.
And we got some great stuff for y'all. I'm trying to say. So we know we don't want any interest. Don't want to be late on any payments. Revolving credit. So if you have that 1 or 2 credit cards that you are excited that you just got, because now you work and you got credit, okay? Make sure you're using them every month. Because if you have credit cards sitting in your wallet, just sitting, ain't doing you not one bit of good. Use it for your cell phone, your groceries, your gas, something you need every month. Pay a bill. That's revolving credit. Okay, that is going to help your credit score a lot.
Do you think it's a good idea? Like, how I usually don't like companies automatically taking stuff off my debit card every month, but with a credit card, that amount is going to be low. It's probably a good way to do it. Like if you paying something religiously, $20, $25, $30 every month, just have that
automatic draft. I don't know if can you do that with credit cards? Yeah. Automatic draft, or is that just out of your account? Oh, okay. I've never done that, but I have done, every month I may use the same credit card to pay the same bill.
Right.
But only thing I have like automatically drafted, it comes out of my account. I've never heard of that off your credit card. But
because I'm real funny about, because sometimes if you automatically have things drafted off your debit card, you have too many things drafted off it, and you look at your account, you be like, wait a minute, where did why am I, $500 is gone and you can't keep up with everything that's coming out of your account.
And if that's the case, I suggest you pay your stuff. Don't use that method. You pay your things as they come.
Yeah.
That way you can keep up. Okay, so you want the revolving credit, gas, groceries, whatever. Another thing that I did, I asked for an increase on my credit card limit.
Okay.
So you might start with $1,500, something like that. And after you've been with that credit card company for about 6 months or so, you can request a credit card increase. Again, that's going to boost your credit. You know why? Just because you have a credit card increase and a higher limit, you don't start spending more, people.
No, you don't.
You keep that spending limit low.
Yes.
And that credit high. That way
Right. You never.
because they do some sort of numerical figuring as far as what your credit is and how much you're spending of your overall credit. So you want to make sure you keep that low. Never, ever max out a card or even get close to maxing out a card. Not going to do you any good.
That's some good advice. Okay, a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know that. Keep that balance low.
What do you guys think are good investments?
Before we do that, can I just finish real quick? I
Oh,
got
I'm
like
sorry.
one or two more. So I just already touched on that, keeping your utilization low. Which with your overall credit limit, just keep that utilization low, which means your spending limit low.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And no hard inquiries. Yeah, you want to wait. Oh, you want to wait a good. I waited a year. Like after I got my first 2 cars, I just used those and started building my credit. This is after the whole jewelry store situation, and before I applied for anything major where I knew they were going to do a hard inquiry, I waited a year. Helped my credit tremendously, people. I'm just saying,
great.
you hearing from somebody that has started over twice. And I said that was one more thing. I got 2 more things to show you. Now, since we're all done with that, there's 2 credit cards I would like to suggest to you guys. If you like to travel like we do, all right, you might want to get these credit cards because not only are these credit cards good for points, or what have you, but they're good for mileage, flying miles.
Yes.
Okay,
And you always get your flight
I be
free.
flying for free.
Yes, all the time. I'm in the process.
Okay, so
That's great. Yes.
there's 2. I fly American Airlines. I would imagine every airline has their own credit card that you can apply for. So this is just my preference. You guys probably can't see it from here, but this is a silver. This is the Platinum Select American Express. This card has no annual fee. Okay, this card, when I signed up, I got about 2,500 flying miles just for signing up. Okay, and I flew off that. Sure did. Okay, so this one again, the Silver Platinum Select American Airlines Advantage card, no annual fee, but my overall credit limit on this one is lower than the other one. This is the Barclays, the Advantage American Airlines. This has a higher credit limit on it. This one does have an annual fee of $99 a year, but I did get 6,500 flying miles on this card. All I had to do to get those miles was purchase something within 90 days. It does not say how big your purchase has to be. I bought something for $100, okay? And then purchase something, and that was it. Yeah, purchase something and you just use your card within the first 3 months. Let me double check that. I don't want to tell you all the wrong stuff. Make your first payment within the first 90 days. Oh, and pay your annual fee within that 90 days, and then you're going to receive that 60,000 miles is what I got.
That's good.
So do they sign up on the airline's website or the particular airline website? Or
Well, I was actually on the plane, and I filled out the little piece of paper and gave it back to them.
Oh, okay.
But you can also just go online. They'll tell you on flight, if you don't want to fill this paper out right here, just go to the website and fill it out. Now that was for the one card, the platinum, but for this red one, I did it online after I had already had this.
Oh, okay.
I just came home and did it online, of course, because I was approved for this, and they're gonna give you that one.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So don't do like me. That's all I got for y'all. I have like 8 cards. Don't do like me because I'm rotating them. Now I'm actually using them monthly, that recurring credit. So I'm good. But if you're starting out, just start with 1 or 2.
Yeah, and I say with a credit limit that you know.
Well, that they're going to tell you what your credit
Yeah.
limit is, unless it's a secured credit card where you're
Right.
going to up your own money.
Right.
Those work too. Don't be shy. You got to start somewhere.
And sometimes when you are starting over and, you know, companies may feel a little, you know, funny about you, they're going to tell you to put like $200.
So that's secured.
Yeah, they're secure, and sometimes you have to do that.
But once you establish it, you won't have to do it.
You will
Right.
not have to do that. That's
Yeah,
just
no.
getting started.
Right.
I didn't have to do that particularly, but what I'm saying is those are options as well. The credit card company may not offer you anything but a secured.
Yep. At least that's something.
Hey, you got an offer.
You got something.
What was you going to say, Dina, or did I make you forget?
No, because you already kind of touched on it.
One more thing. You can interchange those miles, y'all. If you got
Okay.
miles on this card and you don't have any more on this one, you can interchange them. If you
Oh.
got a little bit on this one and a lot on this one, and you need the rest of those little bit of miles to go with this one because you're trying to take a trip to Miami, you can just exchange them right online. Did it, done it. That's
Oh.
all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
Flying
Wow.
for free and helping your credit at the same time.
Woo, girl!
That's what's
How
up.
about that? Flying and helping your credit. Flying for free.
Right.
Okay.
That's
what
really
was you
good.
gonna- yeah.
So-
I better get them cards.
I wanted to just add on to this a little bit about federal student loans.
Oh, I have one.
Dum, dum,
Still.
dum. Okay, federal student loans. When
The
you're
devil.
going,
No.
they are the devil, Lucifer.
Uh-huh.
Now, federal student loans. Now that'd be a whole different video because I can go on all day about it. But what I'm saying, if you have federal student loans, disappointing news, unless you pay them off, they're never going away.
No.
They are never going away.
Don't even try bankruptcy.
Yeah, you can't even do it in bankruptcy.
They
That's
go
what I'm
away.
saying.
They go away when you die.
Yeah.
Or pay them off.
I'll pay them off.
Whichever
That's
comes
only,
first.
There's only two
Right.
ways.
Right.
But to keep them from being negative, they have many options.
Deferments.
Yeah, but a lot you have to watch because they build interest.
Yeah, I know.
There's so much interest.
Mhm.
You know, you can do income-based repayment. You know, they have many options to go by to keep them in the green. You know, so it could look stabilized on your credit, and that's your best bet.
Yeah, because if those are not stabilized on your credit, it's a huge negative. Those student
Ooh.
loans are serious. Something serious.
And sometimes, you know, like sometimes, okay, if you have income-based repayment on there, right, and say you have 15, 16 different federal loan
Who? Huh?
federal loan
15
on-
or 16?
yeah, because a lot of times when they
Student
have you
loan?
filling out the information for school, they're coming from different places. Mohila, you know, the devil. You, they're
Sally
coming.
Mae
So when you sign up every semester, and they're coming from different, you know. Sometimes when you're filling out your information,
I thought
for
it was
loan,
always Sally Mae.
there's many
Oh.
different companies, and you don't know until you graduate. And how you can keep it? No, they won't make you pay if you keep yourself in school.
Right now.
You know, take a class somewhere. You know,
I was one of those forever.
Community
One
college.
class.
yeah,
or just-
yeah.
You can only take one
So,
class. One
and
class.
then they won't mess with you.
You'll be a forever student though.
Sometimes we have to do
Because sometimes
So-
it's like sometimes you'll be
you learn.
paying a
continue
mortgage.
education.
Sometimes
Your
it's like paying a
education.
mortgage.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't realize how much money is costing
Oh Lord.
for that one class. So I know it can look like a rabbit hole, but there's ways to go around it. It's just not coming off.
Right.
We got a little bit more. They about to get noisy around here.
Okay.
So we have our questions.
Yes,
Our
questions.
question base. Some of you viewers, thank you for leaving your questions in our DM. So we're gonna go talk about 3 questions, right?
Yeah, we chose 3 questions.
The question that I received was, if your credit rating, wait, what did it say? Okay.
What if your credit rating?
Okay, no, it's kind of blurry.
Oh.
What if your credit rating is lower, and if you add some one to your credit, would it be lowered, your credit rating? No, the answer is no. It would never lower your credit. All you're doing for that individual is helping them with their credit. It won't affect your credit, no way at all. You just have to, keep on what you was doing before you added that person, paying your bills on time. But no, thank you for your question, viewer.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. My question was, hold on, give me a second. I have to check my notes. It's, how do you feel about college institutions making young kids start out in the red before they even buy something big? Do you understand that?
How do you feel about college
Yes.
institutions starting students off in the red when
They don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this could be a whole separate video with me talking about this, but I do not agree with it. I wish there was a better way. Personally, if you don't have a full ride scholarship, because there's many ways you can get scholarships, and you don't have to pay back money. I'm gonna talk about myself here. If I would do things differently, I would have applied for everything I could have applied for to get free money for my higher education, if I knew what I know now. So no, I do not agree with it. Just do the best that you can to find that free money.
Right.
I believe in education. You should get you should get your education, because no one can take that
by
away
any
from you.
means necessary.
Right.
Okay.
No one can take it away from you.
Right,
Go
no
ahead.
one can. And then what I recommend you guys doing is sending a letter, like
Right.
find out where you could get that money from. Send an essay. Yeah, send an essay. That helps so much.
They have them all around the colleges,
Right.
though.
That helps so much. But you do your own investigation. Do the colleges everywhere.
Yeah.
Just send the same letter everywhere. And a lot of people don't know. A lot of students don't know. Like when you're applying for college, I tell my daughter.
They just ruining the whole show.
Okay.
Can I get my question
You
out
you
real
could
quick?
get
Yeah,
that,
go
your
ahead.
your application fee. You could get that waived. A lot of people don't know
Oh,
that
yeah.
as well.
And one more quick thing. And a lot of times when kids are going to school or whatever, the parents got to take out loans.
Right.
We sorry about this, y'all. Parents have to sometimes parents take out loans, and it comes back on their credit when they get older.
Right.
So just do your research and find free money out there,
Because it's there.
I don't agree with young people starting out in red before they even buy a house or do anything for yourself. I
Right.
think it's wrong. But go ahead, girl.
But you can't buy a home unless you're educated. So I
Yes.
kind of get it. All right. Question I have from one of you viewers. I thought it was a great question. Would you date or marry someone with bad or poor credit? Why or why not? Negative. Been there, done that. Not saying that I have never dated someone with bad credit. Hell, I had bad credit at one point. So, but what I'm saying is, at this point in time in my life, I would never date someone or marry someone with bad credit, because I don't have time to help that
them.
situation.
Right.
I've already been there, done that, and where I am now, I don't want to go backwards. So my answer would be no, because I don't have the time to help you build your credit, and you need to figure that out, boo, and come holler at me when you're done.
Yes.
So what about you? Would you or no?
No. I
Why?
wouldn't.
They said why or why not?
Yeah, I just wouldn't, because I feel like a person, a grown man or a grown woman, they should have it together now.
But
And
we
I
all
don't
fall.
Yeah, you
things
all fall.
happen.
That's true.
I'm just saying I don't have
That's
the patience
true.
for it.
That also,
No,
I
nothing
don't
personal.
have. Yes, it's nothing personal.
Just
I'm
where
not,
I am in my life.
because you guys got to think about it. Their debt becomes your debt. So right now, this time in my life, You know, probably I would be for it, but right now, no, I wouldn't. Because I would think they would like have it together. You know, that's important.
Dina, what you
That's
got?
just me.
I'm right along with them. Like I said, things happen, and we understand people. Sometimes in your life, you go through pitfalls. Right now, I believe that you need, work on those pitfalls.
Before trying to get with someone else.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, key. Work on yourself.
Right. Work on yourself and get yourself together, and then pursue.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. But things happen. So I'm not gonna come down on a person about that
Because things do happen. But just getting in a situation, knowing that. Now, if we're in a relationship and something does happen, of course, we're going to help each other. We're going to work
They said, would you get with the
we're going to work
married?
as a team. But no, not, okay, marry, no.
question.
No, because
But how would you know? Is that a question that we women ask today when we?
You should.
You should.
You
should.
Not only should you
Ladies.
ask. Not only should you ask, can I see your TRW, your credit score, but can I see the medical papers too? I need it all. I need it all. I need the recent checkup,
right.
and I need that credit score.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so
Better
important.
safe than sorry, right? Financially and healthy personally.
Health wise, you
Yeah.
dang on right. Mentally too. What's your family looking like? You got some issues in there I need to know about? No, I'm just playing. Go on, take us out.
Thank you. We're about to wrap everything up now.